Good morning, girls and boys, and welcome to week 24 of our art class. And so the purpose of our lesson for this week is to focus on form. So form meaning creating the illusion of a three-dimensional form. Now, if you think about it, we made those cylinders, right, out of paper a few weeks back. And that was actually creating a three-dimensional form that had length and width and depth, right? Okay, this time we are going to try to create that illusion or make it look as though this is a three-dimensional form. So you can look at these tiers of cake as a cylinder in itself, right? One cylinder on top of another cylinder, on top of another cylinder maybe, right? So we are drawing cakes. We're going to make our dream cake or your favorite cake or celebrate a special holiday or whatever it is. But we were trying to create that look of a 3D form as well as show space in our flat drawing, right? There is no space on a two-dimensional flat rectangular shape, right? There is only space in form and in a 3D space, like this cube of a room that I am in right now, right? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna very quickly run through yet another way. I'm always showing you options and different ways of doing things with different materials and by placing lines and shapes in certain locations to make the illusion of something appearing on our paper, okay? So I'm going to quickly just say we started off with this curved line right here. Brought that line back around. I did this with some of the classes live. We connected it here in the center with a capital A without crossing it. We needed now vertical lines like this, vertical, straight up and down. The straighter you could make them and the more vertical, the more upright your cake would appear. If you draw your lines on an angle or slant them diagonally, it's going to appear as though your cake is falling over. So here we would make two more lines. We would connect the bottom so that it was parallel with the top and create a curved line. Again, parallel lines. Parallel meaning what? Who knows? I think I heard it. Yes, I definitely heard it. Whoever said that parallel lines are running along each other, next to one another, and never intersecting or never crossing each other, you're correct. So parallel lines, that is how we keep our perspective, right? The way that we see something and view it is our perspective. So here is my first tier. Now I come back around here. I come back around here with a curved line like a letter C, like a backward C. I connect here with another capital A. And I make another two vertical lines and another two vertical lines on the sides of the C's, and then curve the bottom and connect. Vertical line, that one wasn't so vertical. Now we connect with more parallel lines. There we have somewhat of a cake, right? Now you've already drawn all this. I'm just reviewing it for those of you who didn't do it. If you wanted to add the plate, you could add the plate by going around. If you wanted to add the cake stand, like I showed you in this one, you could simply draw the cake stand. But no matter what you draw, whether you put a piece of cake here or not, you have to show the edge of the table. You don't have to, but if you're really truly trying to create a sense of space, we know that the food is on the table, right? Hopefully not on the floor. And so we need this line right here. This straight line that runs, it looks like behind our cake. We need to do that. So somewhere above the plate, we need to run a line. So I'm gonna put a diagonal line like this, connect, stop at my cake, jump over my cake, and come and continue that line. Now it looks as though my cake is resting on the table, and then back here is the floor, and then somewhere back here there might be another horizontal line or another straight line that might be on a diagonal, I don't know, another area. So we are dividing our space into sections, and by doing so, we are creating that illusion of depth. Like you can jump into this here, you're at the table, you're eating a piece of cake, right? And then after the table, you're looking at the floor, and then once you get down to the floor at the bottom, now maybe you have a doorway in the background. And maybe it runs off the paper, but that's a doorway. Maybe the door is open and you can see the door open, right? Now this line wouldn't be here, but I'm drawing in marker so that you can see my lines from far away. So that's why I can't erase that one. But this line would disappear. Maybe I make it look like it's wood. I take my mistake and I camouflage it. I continue this line all the way into the next room. And now it will look like I have a wooden floor. There are many, many things that we can do to make our drawings much more interesting than simply drawing one object, right? Those are the things that I always say to you. Critique your work. Ask yourselves, did I do my best? Is this my best? Did I really work hard enough? Did I take my time? Did I do everything to the best of my ability? Or am I just scribbling something down on the paper just to say that I did it, but I'm truly not proud of what I did because I didn't put my full effort into it? That happens. Everybody does it. We're all responsible for ourselves and for carrying ourselves in a certain way, right? And that just means that you should be proud of what you do and you should always want to try your best, right? Because it is a reflection on you. So right here, maybe I want to add this piece of cake. I don't know if you saw how to do a piece of cake, but I can show you. If you go down here and make like a letter V or a capital letter A, but sideways, you would start there, then you would connect it with a curved line, and I'm connecting curved. Why? So that I can create that illusion that this piece of cake came from here and it is curved. It's curving around. Why? Because it is a 3D form. It's not really. It's a flat piece of paper. But we're trying to make magic happen. We're trying to make it look as though it is a form that goes around and has depth and width and length. Now, another vertical line, another vertical line, 3 vertical lines, 3 of them. And then you take those 3 vertical lines and we connect here with a curve, a little piece of it. If you go off the page, don't worry. If you have more space, connect it. And then again, parallel. Parallel means running along next to it, never connecting. So there's my piece of cake. Here's my, let's see, here's my filling. Maybe my filling is, I don't know what it's gonna be. I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna add some filling in my cake, and it has to go in the same direction again. So if my line is diagonal, these lines in here are going to be diagonal. I'm using curved lines, but they are going in the direction which is diagonal. Okay, and this one is going to be diagonal as well. And then what I was going to say to you all is that because we are now going to add color, you are able to add whatever colors you like. On the Google assignment, I have said that you can choose a color family, right? So here's my color wheel, and there are many, many different color families. So let's just review quickly what some of those are. We start off with the primary colors, right? We learned that in kindergarten. Those are red, yellow, blue. They are the first family of colors. That's why they're called primary, like Frank R. Conwell Primary School, right? And so these three colors are one family. You could pick these three colors. Or the secondary colors, orange, green, and violet. Those are the second family of colors, and those are the colors that are made by mixing these three primaries. Then we branch out to the rest of the wheel, and we have other color families. We have the warm colors, which are all of these, the reds and oranges and yellows that remind us of the sun being warm outdoors. We also have the cool color family, which are the cool colors here, the violets and blues and greens, and colors that remind us maybe of nighttime or of winter, of the water being cool. So warm and cool colors. Then we have complementary colors. Those are the ones that make each other look their best. So the colors that are directly across from one another on the color wheel are each other's complement. So think of it like if I'm reaching out to you to shake your hand, right? And I'm telling you, you look fabulous today. You look so great. I'm gonna make you feel good, right? That's going to make you smile. So when you look good, you feel good, and that is a compliment to you. So it is like if violet or purple said, I like how you're looking today, yellow. And that makes yellow feel good, and yellow says, thank you so much, purple, right? So they're complementing one another. They're making each other look their best. And so the complementary colors are directly across from one another on the color wheel. And then finally, there are the analogous colors. And the analogous colors are three colors that are next to one another on the color wheel. So that could be orange, yellow, another yellow. It could be yellow, green, green. It could be orange, a red, and a purple. Could be green, blue, and purple, right? It just means they have to be next to one another on this wheel. Three colors. Those are analogous. So I have given you lots and lots of information. This wheel is going to be at the bottom on your Google Classroom attachment. Yeah. So what I want you to do now is just simply add color. So choose your colors. I think I'm going to pick these two complementary colors, which are violet and yellow, and I'm going to make my filling yellow because I like lemon. So I'm going to make it lemon filling, and you don't have to pick a color family. If you want to, you can. If you already made your cake and you did it a different way, then that's okay. No problem. I love the images that I got sent onto Google Classroom already. I think your cakes are super delicious looking, and they're making me really hungry. And so I am going to make my cake have like a purple fondant, right? Because they can color cakes whatever color they want, and it wouldn't necessarily taste the way that this color would be associated with, right? Usually we think of purple and we think of what flavor? Yeah, grape. But I have never had a grape cake, so yeah. So I'm just going by my colors, and I'm going to add this here. And I want you to have fun, and I want you to decorate it and have a good time and make your favorite cake or your dream cake or whatever it is that you want to make. But I did want to bring something to your attention. Many of you do the work to the best of your ability, and I am super proud of you for that. And that means that they color carefully. They go in one direction, making it neat. They don't scribble scrabble. They fill in all of the white spaces. Those boys and girls are truly proud of all of the artwork that they're making. And that makes me proud of them. Other boys and girls are maybe not doing their work to the best of their ability, and I know that you can. And I know that it's because I'm not right there next to you, pushing you, saying, come on, fill in those white spaces, color in one direction. Well, now I'm reminding everybody. Please try to do your best, okay? Don't just submit something that is scribble-scrabbly, because I know that's not your best and you know that's not your best, right? So please, please try to work on your coloring skills, everybody. And that way, when a competition comes up or when there is some need for a display that is asked of us, then I will be able to have lots of artwork to choose from. If you don't do your work to the best of your ability and it's incomplete and it has lots of white spaces, am I going to be able to put that on display? No, unfortunately not. So let's be the best artists we can be, okay? I know you can do it. I've seen you do it many times. So I wanted to tell you one last thing about this piece. I am using marker, and I think I'm going to include that here. I'm using marker for this item that is very, very close to me in the foreground. Why? Because the ink in the marker is very bright. The colors are vibrant and bright and bold because the ink is, it's darker. It comes out that way. If I used this purple crayon, I could get it to be as dark maybe, but maybe not as bright. It's a little bit duller. It's more dull than the marker, if you can see the difference there. And it shows some of the white spaces because of the wax. So what I was going to suggest is that if you have both markers and crayons, then you might want to do your cake or a big part of your cake in marker. And if you wanted to show a contrast or a difference, then you would do all of your background in crayon. And then that would show that whatever is in the foreground is bright and closer to us, and whatever is further in the distance never seems as bright. I've explained that to everybody in the past, but I'm just going to take this opportunity to remind everybody that there's something called atmospheric perspective, and that just means in the atmosphere. So here, this brown looks really brown, but if this brown was all the way back there in the distance, far away in the background, it wouldn't look as deep brown as it does up close. Why? Because our eyes cannot see from this far away the true color. So in the distance, everything looks a little bit less bright. So maybe if I'm gonna make my walls maybe a blue. I'm gonna make my wall light blue. I'm using complementary colors on my cake. So that's going to be yellow and purple. And I'm going to make my wall here a light blue, and my floor a light brown to appear to look like wood. And then maybe my table, I don't know, some other color. But if you have the time, please try to color in your whole page or a good portion of your page, right? Because it just makes it more interesting. You're introducing more information, more visual information into your artwork. And that makes it really exciting for the viewer looking at your artwork. Then they get to see and learn what it is, what message it is that you're sending about your artwork. Maybe you're saying that this is a party in somebody's home. You can remember that you can add whatever details you want. I've had students add balloons and candles and silverware here, birthday cards, and it doesn't have to be a birthday cake. It could just be a cake for no specific reason. It could just be dessert one night after dinner, right? I don't know, but it's up to you. And maybe I want to add, I don't know. Let's see, I'm just focused on taking my time. I'm gonna add some crayon here for the cake part because that's always a little bit lighter unless it's chocolate or red velvet. Those are deep, rich colors. But I think I'm gonna make this one like this. And I just wanted to say one final piece of information, one last little thing. If you do leave a lot of white spaces in your drawing, the viewer is going to focus on those white spaces and not on your artwork or your visual message, okay? So if you are going to leave white spaces, make them intentional. That's a big word for on purpose. Make those white areas be on purpose. Whether it's a cloud, a white table, whatever it is, but make sure that you mean to make it white. Don't just scribble, scrabble, and leave white spaces like this, because everyone can tell that that is not intentional. That's not on purpose, right? That doesn't mean that you're showing anything is supposed to be white, right? Okay. I just kicked the stand. Okay, boys and girls, so I am so looking forward to seeing your delicious creations. I'm gonna see which one I think I would wanna eat first, okay? And I appreciate you joining me today, okay, for our art class. So thank you. Send me your artwork, please, and I will see you next time. Bye.